Hi Yogi parents, Namaste. This is Ritu again, and I'm continuing my video on yoga postures for tweens that are around 8 to 12 years old. Now, I highly recommend practicing yoga with tweens as they are facing lots of issues like pre-puberty, and which includes a sudden growth spurts and hormonal changes, a body that is not mentally prepared to handle puberty. Alongside, there's a heightened anxiety, slouching, etc. Now, how can yoga help for tweens? They are not only exploring their external body changes, but also get an internal body awareness through yoga. And tweens feel more confident, relaxed, and simply just happy, as yoga helps them with the right hormone secretion and posture correction. Diaphragmatic breathing too can reduce anxiety in children, in tweens. As always, I start my tween classes with an Om chant, but when you tell a tween to sit in a half lotus or a full lotus position, they get extremely excited. Let me show you how to do this. Now, to move into a Padmasana, friends, we just need to take one leg, and whichever leg you'd like to cross first, and think of externally rotating the leg, so the sole of the foot is pointing towards you. Now we're going to place the sole of the foot into the hip crease all the way and try to relax the knee down. If it's too much already, then just go for a half lotus by placing the other leg under the thigh and just cross it this way, bringing the knees down, and this is your half lotus. But if you'd like to go for the full, so I'll get back with my straightened leg and bring that leg just again by placing the palms under your front leg and by placing the sole of the foot again towards the hip crease. And this way it's more safer and it externally rotates better. So now place the palms either onto your knees or in mudra, and then just relax the knees down and sit tall all the way to the crown of the head. Now tell your tweens, let's take a deep breath in through the nose and let's chant our Om. It does not have to be that long with your tween, but it might ignite some giggles as well. And some tweens don't dare to kind of sing the Om chant, but ask them to try again and tell them to make the sound come out from their belly and to dare to sing. And as it has a healing and a calming effect on them. Now let's do some breathing exercise called Brahmari or humming bee, which restores the internal organs in our body through sound vibration. So there are two methods. One is to place the index finger into the ear, just like that. And second one is to place the index finger on top of the eyebrows, second finger in the inner corner of the eyes, the third at the flare of your nostrils, the fourth finger, the thumb, into the ear, gently. And with this, we're going to take a deep inhale in. And slowly, slowly release. So here, friends, we're just doing a low-pitched sound internally to heal the internal organs. Now let's start with the 12 steps of sun salutation here. So for sun salutation, friends, there are 12 spinal movements that we do. But make it a bit of a flowy movement for your tween so that your tween enjoys it. Now we're going to come in front of your mat and keep the feet hip distance. We're going to place the thumbs to the heart center and for pranamasana. So we're going to bring our arms next to our body and swing them up with an inhale all the way up to the sky next to our ears. And maybe even bend back. Take a mini back bend if you can, as far as possible. So we're going to bring our hips forward, chest up. Inhale and all the way go back. And exhale, palm to the heart all the way and bend forward. Exhale out, nice and deep. Inhale. And from here, a lot of people round their spines. So what you can do is catch your shin or your ankle with your palms firmly and make it as a lever and pull yourself. So the golden rule is to bring the belly to thigh, chin to shin. So here you can pull it as a lever, your shin, and inhale. Exhale, lengthen the spine. Bring it onto the leg, forward folds. Bring up the tailbone to the sky all the way. And exhale, ground the palms, bend the knees. We're going to bring the left leg, big giant step back. All the way, knee down. So here we need to rest the chest up, all the way, the sternum bone up, the belly rest onto the thigh, be on your fingertips and sink the hip deeper down and then untuck your back toe. Now, a lot of people also do hands on the hips, lifting up the belly a little bit and sinking deeper into the hips. Or they even raise their arms up here. For Anjaneyasana or Ardha Bhujangasana, they have many different terms. Lowering the fingertips down. Now we're going to tuck the back toes and lift your bottoms up for downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Breathing out nicely. Breathing into plank and exhale, knees, chest, chin straight away into Ashtanga Namaskar. Elbows are hugging in nicely, back toes are tucked. And an inhale, slide slowly to Cobra pose, pressing into the palms nice and long, bringing the hips down, and we look up to the sky, shoulders roll down nicely, and we give it a lift. Slowly roll out of your Bhujangasana and lowering down gently, vertebra by vertebra. Tuck your back toes for an Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Exhale out. Lengthen the spine, adjust your feet again, hips up high, again look at your navel. Now from your Ardha Mukha Svanasana, we're going to lift the left leg a little up. And we're going to hug the knee into the chest to bring the leg forward. Now step your foot as far as possible forward in between your palms. And many people can't step their foot forward. So they can catch their ankle and bring the foot more forward in between the palms. Now resting your knee down, again, Ardha Bhujangasana or Anjaneyasana, or with your arms up maybe. As per your own comfort, sinking the hips down, stacking your ankle correctly. Exhale, forward fold, step it forward and exhale out. Inhale, arms up, mini back bend, and thumbs to heart center for Pranamasana. Take a deep inhale and exhale. So it's best to repeat this on the right side and make it more of a flowy movement with your child. Another posture would be the crow pose or Bakasana for confidence, focus and one-pointedness. And if your tween has done some yoga before or the parents have done some yoga before, then I would highly recommend to do this. There's two ways to do it. So one is the more simpler version or the beginner's version, and the second one is the more advanced. Before we do the crow, guys, or Bakasana, we need to just warm up a little into Malasana. So in a squat position, which I've explained in my previous video. So we sway our legs a little bit out, mat with distance, and we squat down. Drawing the kneecaps out a little, lengthen up, warm up, gaze at one point, breathe for deep breath in and out. Next, we're going to press the palms and make them nice star fingers in front of you. Now imagine there's a triangle in front of you where you have to look at the tip. And in Bakasana or crow pose, you have to keep gazing at the tip. If you gaze down, then you'll do a little somersault. But here, the important part is to gaze forward. All right, pressing into the palms, palms flat on the mat. Now the knees are going to roll onto your upper arms. Now we're going to lean forward, lift the hip a little up, okay? And we're going to press or hug the knees onto the upper arms. We're going to gaze forward. Now try to lift off one toe or one foot and lift up the other foot. And if that's okay and you feel confident onto your arms, you've got a bit of arm strength here, you can lift up both and just breathe here for 5 breaths. That's the beginner's version of crow pose or Bakasana. So really core workout here. And then slowly, slowly come back. Another balancing posture, which is very good for tweens, is the tree pose or Vrikshasana. So to do this, keeping your feet hip distance, and we're going to place the sole of the foot into the inner thigh, so taking your left leg up and placing it into the inner right thigh, ideally. But it doesn't have to happen because lots of tweens are not able to do this or able to balance on one leg. So what you can do for them is to kind of bring the foot on top of each other or next to the shin, or please don't do it into the inner knee because that could have a harmful effect on the long run. But place the sole of the foot all the way into the thigh. And draw the kneecap out once you have the balance, and the hip is at the same time rolling back. So there's an opposite stretch happening here. So bring the thumbs to the heart and palms to heart center. And then from here, once you have that balance, you can even grow into a very tall tree. And open up your arms. Coming back out, exhale all the way and release your foot. And please do this on the other side as well. So tweens and adults even tend to slouch a lot. So since we keep bending forward to look at our screens and phones, the cervical spine can get really affected. So we need to bend backwards to correct it. So let me show you a Dhanurasana bow pose for tweens. So for our Dhanurasana, we have to lie down on our belly or prone position. So what we're going to do is bend our legs and catch our ankles at the same time. But if that doesn't happen, you can wrap around a towel or a strap around your foot, maybe around the mid area of your foot, or somewhere where there's a fixation to lift up the leg up at the back. So in Dhanurasana, we're going to lift our chin, shoulder, chest, and the thighs up to the sky until we aim to get on the belly. So for all of us, that doesn't happen usually to be completely on the belly, but just try your best. All right, let's go for it. So we're going to bring our palms, catch our ankles, and with a lift, with an inhale, squeeze the shoulders as well. We're going to lift up. Inhale. Deep breath in. Lift your thighs. Lifting the belly onto the belly completely. And keep breathing. And slowly come back down. Start with 5 breaths and build it up to 10. Pressing the palms. Get into the child's pose to release some compression here. Dhanurasana has a great therapeutic effect for diabetes, constipation, menstrual disorders, and asthma because it's a great chest opener. Lastly, we head into our Shavasana. Again, not all tweens will be perfectly lying around here, but the more you practice with them Shavasana, the better they get. But while they're wriggling around and lying down in this position, I have a great book to recommend for a guided Shavasana, which is called Relax Kids by Marnetta Viegas, and which is filled with Aladdins and other fun story-based meditations for tweens. Thank you so much for listening again, and thank you, Karishma. Do check out our next video next week for 12 to 15-year-olds. This is Ritu signing off. Keep breathing. Hari Om. Namaste.